Hi everyone, welcome back to Raven Relics Tarot. If this message resonates or you find it helpful, then it's for you. Let's get into it. So today's message is coming through the Justice card. Now, when I channeled through this card, I heard a few different things. I heard making a decision, deciding your fate, tipping the scales, the time has come to start anew, and last but not least, assuredness is only found through objectivity. Now, that sort of kicked me down the rabbit hole into exploring this concept of objectivity. What does it really mean to be objective, and why is it so important? I realized there's a big misconception around what it means to be objective. It's very easy to assume that someone who is being objective is being cold, calculating, aloof, indifferent, detached, uncaring, etc. And it's equally as easy to assume that in order for us to be objective, we must be those things, right? It's this big, unconscious even assumption that you can't be compassionate and objective at the same time. But that could not be farther from the truth. Couldn't be farther from the truth. Sometimes being objective is the most compassionate decision you could possibly make, right? The choice to be objective can be born from a profound state of caring. And if we want to make the best decision possible for a collective, any collective, whether that collective is a family unit, a city, a neighborhood, a state, the world, whatever. You can think about it on the macro or the micro. But if we want to make the best decision for any given collective, then we have to be objective. We have to be objective. That is the most compassionate choice for the collective of which you are a part, is to be objective, right? To be objective means that you value truth. You can see here, she's holding a sword, and swords in tarot are all about truth, right? One of my favorite definitions of objective reality is by Teal Swan, and she said that objective reality is the summation of all subjective realities. So again, if you want to make the best decision, the most objective decision for any collective, you actually need to care about each individual in that collective and what their personal truth is, so that you can take it into account. Now, it's easy to see this, or at least it's kind of straightforward to understand this externally with our external relationships and the external communities that we're a part of. But what about when it comes to our relationship with ourselves? How do we be objective, sort of foster this environment of justice, objectivity, and truth within ourselves? Well, the same way. The same way, because you, in and of yourself, are a collective. On a physical level, on a psychological level, and an emotional level, on every level, you unto yourself are a collective. You are a community of parts. You know, your body is an ecosystem of parts. You are this finger and this finger and this finger and this hair and this hair, and these teeth and this stomach and that toe and this cell and that bone and on and on and on. You're a collection of parts, and it's the same on a psychological, emotional level as well. You have all of these different facets and aspects of your identity. So you treat yourself the same way you treat an external community. You pay attention to, become aware of, and seek to understand every part of yourself so that you can take them all into account and then make the most objective decision for yourself. Remembering that you are the consciousness that can witness all of these different parts of self. That is your job as witness consciousness, to make the most objective decisions for the collective of you. Right? So, what does this all boil down to? Essentially, the Justice card in this moment is asking you to be objective with yourself. How the heck do you do that on a practical level? You be radically honest with yourself. The Justice card is asking you to be radically honest with yourself so that you can make the best decision possible for yourself from a space of objectivity and truth. Okay. Now, the Justice card was clarified by the Ace of Wands. I love all of the aces in this deck, by the way. This is the Darkwood Tarot. I think these aces are probably my favorite. Just a side note. Now, the Ace of Wands is saying, when you choose with your free will to be radically honest with yourself, no matter how painful it may be, and sometimes it is incredibly painful to be radically honest with yourself, but when you decide to be radically honest with yourself, suddenly this incredible sense of spaciousness opens up in your entire body being system. And that spaciousness creates an opportunity for new inspiration. Radical honesty is freedom. That is how you create freedom within yourself. It's by being radically honest with yourself, right? And that freedom sparks or ignites new life, new passion, new manifestations, a whole new cycle. So when I look at these two together, it's clearly saying, when you choose to be radically honest with yourself, you're gonna automatically step into a new cycle of life. And if it's hard, that's okay. That's okay. You'll be glad you did it. You'll be glad you were honest with yourself on the other side. So, with all of that said, I'm going to leave you with 2 journal prompts to reflect on in your own time. And these journal prompts I created / chose specifically to help you be radically honest with yourself. Journal prompt number 1. What are you fed up with? And journal prompt number 2, what are you afraid to admit to yourself, and why? Now, when you engage with these questions, I would invite you to just write at the top of your paper, I am fed up with and then fill in the blank. And likewise, I am afraid to admit that, and then fill in the blank. That way you can kind of just stream of consciousness, fill in those blanks, and let whatever comes up come up, right? Don't think about it too hard. Don't resist whatever's trying to come up, okay? And if you feel called to, you can try writing with your non-dominant hand. Sometimes that can really activate your unconscious in some pretty profound ways. All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If this resonated or was helpful, then give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave any questions or comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.